Today we are talking about the Good and the Beautiful's Level 7 Language Arts. Hey guys, it's Bonnie from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I make videos to help you on your homeschooling journey. And today we are going to take a look at the Good and the Beautiful's Level 7. I know that the Good and the Beautiful is remaking all of their levels, but I have been lucky enough to be able to purchase all the older ones. I like them better because they are a little bit more advanced, and those are the levels that we have actually started with from the beginning. So as of right now, the Good and the Beautiful Level 7 is high school level work. So we are gonna look into all of this. After level 7, you can do book studies for 8th grade, and then they actually have a separate high school curriculum, even though they told me that this was high school level work. So when I get to those levels, I will let you know how they are. So let me flip the camera over and take you into what level 7 includes and what it's all about. Level 7 includes the course book, the course companion, the reader, daily checklist, notes and instructions, and their geography and grammar cards. Let's take a look inside. If you're new to the Good and the Beautiful, the subjects always covered are literature, writing, grammar and usage, punctuation, spelling, vocabulary, geography, and art. This course is mainly student directed, but it allows parental participation whenever desired. There's an answer key to allow us to check in on the children's work. And it says that the course takes small incremental steps so that students can learn complex concepts without becoming overwhelmed and confused. It is a faith-based course, Christian of all denominations, and it does not follow standard Common Core. And it says that level 7 places a strong emphasis on writing. Children are taught good and beautiful style writing that is effective and engaging while having a high literary and moral value. There's a couple of things that you'll need extra. The type of art that is included in level 7 is going to be drawing. So you need drawing pencils, a sketchbook. It also says a blank notebook with lined paper and a large index card and a timer. So to explain to you how the course works, each day the child's going to have sentence dictation, ladders or poetry memorization, alternating days, geography or grammar cards, one lesson in the course, and personal reading, as long as you would like your child to read from 20 to 30 minutes or more if you decide. The parent does the dictates the sentences for the child each day, checks the child's work while using the enter key, and works with the child on occasional parts of the book that may indicate parental or teacher interaction. The child by themselves can do ladders and poetry memorization, geography or grammar cards, the course book, and their personal reading. There's a course reading challenge in this course, which I have here laminated, and that's for them to read the book of Heidi, Benjamin West and His Cat Gillikin, a biography, 3 historical fictions, 2 fictions, and 1 nonfiction. There's check boxes in each lesson, just like in the other courses, so that the kids can check off everything as they go through the lessons in order. Each lesson builds upon each other. The course companion is useful for quick references to different things. The way that they teach spelling is by reading large amounts of high quality literature, learning and applying basic spelling rules, and practicing spelling patterns and targeted words with repetition. And in the corner video, you will see that I have a video on the Good and the Beautiful's library. When it first came out, I'm sure they've added tons of books to it since then. It says that children can be overwhelmed with large writing projects, so it breaks them down into small assignments, making it achievable and enjoyable, and they're integrated into many of the lessons. The geography and grammar cards are going to take about 5 to 7 minutes for them to complete, and it recommends different ways to store them. The geography they're going to be exploring is Russia, stories by a Russian author, geography of Pennsylvania. 2 of the books that the kids are going to be reading is set in Pennsylvania, so as they're studying Pennsylvania, the settings will be there as well. They're also going to be learning the geography of Wales and the United Kingdom as they read a book called Mary Jones and Her Bible, which is set in Wales. It's part of the reader. It's also going to cover regions and subregions of the United States, plate tectonics, and demographics. As far as art, they're going to be focusing on line art and drawing skills while they study different artists. Here you'll see the length the daily length of the course. So each day for 10 minutes, they're going to do the sentence dictation, 6 minutes of Latin poetry memorization alternating days, 6 minutes of geography or grammar cards alternating days, 40 minutes in the course book, 28 minutes reading for course reading challenge. Total is 90 minutes. Guys, as I started recording this video, a thunderstorm happened. So there's lots of thunder and rain, and my dogs will probably be barking, but I'll try to stop talking when that happens and cut it out. Okay, so what they're gonna be learning as far as grammar, usage, and punctuation are, I think it's a lot of the same things. It's gonna be having an active and passive voice, antonyms and synonyms, apostrophes, avoiding shifts in person, voice, number, avoiding shifts in verb tense, all the capitalization stuff. So they're reviewing a lot of old concepts as well as far as that, and commas, compound word subjects, commonly confused words. And then it talks about editing, gerunds, Greek and Latin roots, typical, I guess, grammar stuff, as well as sentence diagramming. They're going to be studying different authors and poets. There's different books in the reader. It tells you what they are here, the different concepts that are going to be studied, which is analyzing the moral, educational, literary merit of literature, author's purpose, comparing and contrasting literature, identifying main ideas and themes, literary analysis, literary devices, mood and tone, poetic sound devices, and poetry terms. And then it talks about the different types of art, periods, and artists that are going to be studied, as well as techniques and principles studied and practiced, which will be line art drawing, drawing styles, hatching and cross-hatching, stippling, perspective, vanishing point, and framing. So here is the type of things that are going to be taught in their writing. So annotating and paraphrasing challenge text, avoiding plagiarism, sorry about the dogs guys, citing sources, creating emotion rather than stating facts, focusing paragraphs on one main idea, identifying and writing the thesis statement, using literary devices, maintaining a constant style in writing, writing narratives, pre-writing, revising and rewriting, using transitions, using a rich and varied vocabulary, using descriptive language, using strong verbs, varying sentence structures, using or avoiding active voice, writing literary analysis essay, persuasive essay, and informative essay, writing concisely, writing dialogue, writing effective body paragraphs, effective conclusions, effective opening paragraphs, effective thesis statements, writing fictional biography, outlines, poetry, summaries, thank you notes, topic sentences. And then it has other things they're going to be learning, which is building character, choosing literature with high literary and moral merit, idioms, note-taking, poetry memorization, proverbs and maxims, spelling, the power of language, and vocabulary. So that's a lot. Here's the course reading challenge in your course book already. So let's take a look at a lesson. We won't do lesson 1 because lesson 1 teaches them how to complete the course. So we'll just hop into the middle. Let's go to lesson 15, which is commas with non-essential phrases. There's something that they're going to be reading, reviewing non-essential words, and then there is an exercise for each sentence from the blind brother, which is going to be inside their reader. They're going to place commas before and after non-essential phrases. Gives them a little tip, and then up here are the phrases for them to practice. Then they're going to read a chapter of Blind Brother, and then they are going to underline the correct answer just to make sure that they have read it and are understanding what happened in the chapter. Then as part of the same lesson, they're going to be talking about an introduction to essay writing, why they're going to need it, and how to write an introductory paragraph. And then inside their writer's notebook, they're going to write ways to begin an introductory paragraph, and they're going to write the 8 ways listed, because writing makes things stick in your memory. And then it talks about the illustration of the backpack, that it has hatching, which is an artistic technique used to create tonal or shading effects by drawing closely. It explains the whole thing, and so then in their sketchbook they're going to draw the backpack and the watering can. Sometimes they'll be prompted into going into their course companion, and this has their states and capital letters they have to memorize, their poetry memorization, quick references, course readings, editing, challenging word practices, and sentence dictation. So that is just all in here. They're going to memorize the states and capitals. This was in another lesson, but it's good because if you don't continue practicing, you're going to lose it. I forgot half of my states and capitals because we only learned them 1 year. And then this is the poetry's memorization sheet. These are all the different poems that they get to choose from. And then these are just references to different things that they may have forgotten, different maps, that they're going to need as they're learning or doing assignments. All the terms and literary terms that they're going to need to know are in here. How to diagram, all the different types of diagramming sentences are in here. All the rules for capitalization, citing sources, comma rules, everything. And then any course reading is also going to be in here. You also have more poems back here. Editing symbols. Editing explanations. Then there's challenging words to practice. They're reading words. So several times during the course, they have to learn how to read some of these words, which this is great because this really pushes them up in their reading level when they're testing. Some of these words I actually have to look up myself on YouTube to figure out how to sound them out. I'm just saying it's true, I do. Okay, these are the sentence dictation instructions and then the lists. Rule breakers, commonly confused words, spelling patterns. And then you have your sentences and the exercises sets. There's some quizzes back here. Blind Brother presentation quiz. Mary Jones in the Bible presentation. So I guess that after they're reading the books, they have to take a quiz. I like that. Here's the answer key. And there goes that. The daily notes and checklist. You have the instructions here. Now, you can either take one and laminate it and have them just use it over and over again, or you can just use a different sheet every day. They write the day of the week and they check off all the things they're supposed to do in one day. So let me open these up and show you what these are like. Okay, so basically, they have their grammar card. Starts very easy, like what is a pronoun? It gives 6 examples. What's a noun? What's a verb? What's a subject? And then in the back, they have the answers. So he should know like a majority of these already, but these are a good review. And then as you go in deeper, you have questions like what is a run-on sentence? What are 2 ways you can probably combine 2 independent sentence clauses into one sentence? What are 3 ways to fix a run-on sentence? And then it has the answers. So then when you get into geography, they have the oceans, the states, the countries in Europe. And I just have to say that when my daughter went to high school, she went to a private high school at first. The kids didn't know their states, didn't know where they were. One of the first geography tests she had was where the states were and their capitals. And she also had to know where she had relearned actually, where some of the places were in Europe. And by the way, all of the answers are in the back. So you're just gonna take these out, they're perforated. So they're actually gonna be cards. So you see, you can fold them. Africa, then you have the different continents, which in high school, a lot of her friends didn't know what the continents were, being in a public high school. When she switched over, and she was prepared. She knew everything. And also grammar, because of these grammar cards, were very easy for her. So her easiest subject was basically what do they call it? ELA, language arts, basically. All right, guys, last but not least is your level 7 favorite classics reader. And here they're gonna be reading The Blind Brother, Mary Jones and Her Bible, Tony and the Woodcarver, actually Tony the Woodcarver, Rudy, short stories by Leo Tolstoy, Moni the Goat Boy, and Dick Whittington and His Cat. And so it's just a bunch of basically, I wonder why this folded, a bunch of chapter books inside one reader. So I hope you guys enjoyed, it's kind of dark in here now, that walkthrough of The Good and the Beautiful level 7. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see what a day in the life would look like for my middle schooler when we get started schooling again. Also, make sure you check out the video on the card above. I have a playlist for homeschooling middle school, and I also have our 7th grade homeschool choices for this year. God, I can't believe I have a 7th grader. I can't believe my baby's in 7th grade. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.